Here are my top 10 tips for calming someone with dementia. So, I want to preface by saying that every person's unique, we're all different, and how dementia affects everyone is also going to be different, especially considering the different types of dementia that there are. So, some of these tips may work for, say, your mom in the morning, but not in the afternoon, or they may work on Monday and Tuesday, but not on Wednesday, because that's just how dementia is. But this is where we need to learn to be a little more flexible and really customize what we're doing to the person that we're caring for. And of course, you've also got to take each person's likes and dislikes into consideration as well. All right, number one, and the most important, is we need to rule out irritants. So, is your person constipated? Have they wet or soiled their brief or underwear? Are they overstimulated? Also, check to see if they are in a wheelchair or in a regular chair. Make sure that there's nothing maybe under them or beside them that might be poking their skin. Number two may be the most challenging, and that is that we need to be calm first. It's pretty difficult to calm someone if we ourselves are irritated or frustrated. So you may need to just take a minute alone if it's safe to do so, and take a few deep breaths, listen to a part of your favorite song, whatever it takes to get yourself back to ground zero, and then come back into the situation with a more calm demeanor. Number three, find soothing activities. So this could include filing their fingernails. This I have found works wonders, especially if someone's very anxious. By the time you're done filing one hand and moving on to the other, they're almost dozing off. It's just a very relaxing activity. You could also try playing soothing music, but from their era. You know, a soothing Taylor Swift song is not going to have the same impact as a soothing Bing Crosby song. So find something that they really enjoy and really customize their music to their liking. Another thing you can try is combing or brushing their hair. A lot of people, men and women, find that very comforting and relaxing. Number four, show respect and gratitude. Now, those should go without saying, but you'd be surprised just how far you can get with someone when you just show them how grateful you are, even if it's for something they didn't really help you with, and that you're grateful for that, and that you're grateful for that. And that can do a lot to create a good bond between the two of you. Number five, redirect their attention. What I mean by this is engaging them in a conversation, either about someone that they love or a past event. While they're telling the story, I encourage you to look at it in two ways. If you can think of their story as almost like two layers, with the first layer being, the details, who, what, where, when, and the bottom layer being their feelings behind the story. And really pay attention to the parts of the story where they really light up, because you can use those later. If you've got another day when they're really agitated and you can think back to this story that they told you, really focus on those more positive parts of the story and ask. So, for example, if the person you've cared for once took their children to Disneyland, and the favorite part of that story was when one of their children was on the roller coaster screaming or whatever it might have been. So the next time that they're a bit aggravated, ask them, did you ever go to Disneyland? What was one of your favorite rides there? Just sort of direct the conversation to where it's going to be a positive memory. Now, if you're caring for a family member, I strongly encourage you to not get focused on the details. This can be very hard, especially for people who are present for the different events. You may know that you went to Disneyland in 1986, but your loved one is saying 1987. It doesn't matter. What year it took place is irrelevant. We want to focus on the emotion behind the story. That's what's important. We want them feeling good, happy. The little details, they're just going to distract your person from this good memory. And hopefully, as they're telling you the story, in their mind's eye, they're reliving it, which is going to get them in a much better disposition, which is the whole purpose of this, right? That's our goal. So if they're reliving this memory and it's starting to make them feel good, they're starting to get happy, they're smiling again, great, that's what we want. Try not to distract them by focusing too much on these little details that are really irrelevant. Because if you weren't there, you wouldn't know if it was 1986 or 1987, and it wouldn't matter anyway. And it still doesn't matter, even though you were there. So try not to get too hung up on those little things, because that's going to, if you've got someone who was already feeling kind of feisty, wanting to argue, and now you've got them telling a great story, but you want to interrupt them with a detail, you're going to get them back into that fighting mentality that we're working so hard to get them away from. So just try to keep that in mind, particularly if it's someone that you know. Number 6, physical activity. Now, obviously with this one, we need to take everyone's physical limitations into consideration, and we've got to keep them safe. But there are things you can do, even if someone is bedbound or wheelchair bound, that is still going to be physical and that may help if they're feeling a bit frustrated or agitated and need to get some of that frustration out. One thing I really recommend that is very helpful and safe is to blow up a balloon, and you two can just volley it back and forth to each other. That can help release some physical energy, but not be harmful. If your person is a bit more mobile and it's safe to do so, you could try taking them for a walk, even if it's just to the mailbox and back, or around the block if that's safe. Or if they're in a wheelchair, you could push them and just walk them around the block. Number 7, find a productive task. So help them feel a bit more productive by giving them some sort of a task to do. This could be watering plants, folding towels, or helping to sort things. Number 8, try a change of scenery. If it's safe to do so, you could take your person you're caring for out for a drive, or sit on the front porch, sit on the patio, or even just sit by a window. Number 9, look at old photos together. If you can find old photo albums, this can be a great way to get to know the younger version of the person you're caring for. It can also get them talking about old memories and people that maybe they haven't thought of in a long time. Number 10, give them a creative outlet. Now, this may not be for everybody. Not everyone is an artist at heart, but for those that are, you could try painting, drawing, even coloring. You'd be surprised how many older adults really enjoy coloring. Now, I wouldn't get coloring books meant for small children, but there are so many adult coloring books now, and they can keep your person occupied for quite a while. And this is particularly good for people who really enjoy their own quiet time alone, but will keep them occupied and happy. Those are my top 10 tips for calming someone with dementia. If you've used a technique that has been helpful, please share it in the comments so that we can all help each other. And I'll see you in the next video.